Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the live show with Musart. Today I am joined with a woman of many talents that even I'm confused. So, she's a founder of Loop Global Management and she's doing various other projects. After being in this country for 17 years, she has achieved quite a lot. So we're here to hear her journey. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. So tell me about, let's first start with Loop Global Management before we get confused. Okay. Why the name Loop Global Management? And mashallah, you're not a resident of this country. You've come here from 17 years ago. You've immigrated and you've done so much. Please start.
Right. So why the loop? Because I feel like there's a spiritual meaning to it as well. I feel like just being that link in between communities, in between organizations, even people, because quite often we build these walls around us. So, when you can easily help each other, there are people who won't help each other. And so my journey actually started when I realized going out to community events, because my family lives back home, so I was here on my own. And I started sort of exploring what's happening out there when I got so bored with my job.
Okay.
So I started going out to all the community events. And I just realized, because of being so creative and a very free-spirited woman or person, I realized there's this gap that, all the community events, especially the Pakistani community events, would have the same format and, same people doing same things.
And it wasn't, and I understand how the Pakistani community they might hate me when they hear this, but when there's so much, I think when you go there, you don't gain anything, and there's always and if it's an event that is just, what's the word, entertainment, you'd be people swarming there. But if it's an event that's to help people, there'd be very less people wanting to come.
Exactly.
So, or something they're going to learn or gain something from.
Yeah.
So, so what is it that inspired you from these events then?
Nothing, actually. That's why I started the loop.
No, did you want to do something different? That's what I meant. Did that inspire you? Like, I need to change, make this change, and do something different?
Yeah, especially the way I just felt there was this gap, and I think I created my own niche without me realizing this. That there was a gap that nobody, even if they would say they are promoting the softer image of Pakistan, I think there was still, I used to say, you are still selling Pakistan to Pakistanis, and how is this going to help Pakistan? And I must say, and give credit to my community before they start hating me as well, that the dynamics have changed now, because there are a lot of other organizations that are doing brilliant work. So now you have those, sort of one-stop community shops where you can go and you will find that, if you need to connect with people, there are organizations out there. But I sort of, I thought maybe this is something I can take upon myself to, set the trend, or, just do different things.
Yeah, why
like
not?
Say, for example, started with cultural events, because I used to find them a bit soulless, Yes, I love ghazals and Eastern music. I love that. So I created a few events with like fusion, as in bringing the Pakistani artists with the local artists here, to my own heart's delight. Sometimes it's like about proving to yourself, yes, you can do it. Let's experiment this. So it all started from there, and the journey just continued till I got involved with projects in Pakistan.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So what kind of projects did you make?
So I was the consultant for a commission we took to Pakistan to explore the social entrepreneurship arena of Pakistan. And I was actually quite surprised that I myself didn't know much about my country, like as in what's happening. And so it was at that particular sort of time, it wasn't the inception, I think it was after a year I started the loop, that I realized, oh my God, this is what I was looking for, where are those other people or organizations who could be, I'm not going to use the cliched word as in the gatekeeper of the community, but someone who has access and knowledge of the country they've come from, and they can work, they've been living here, working here, so they know the work ethics here, so they could easily become the loop, the bridge in between.
Yeah.
So people from here, if they have any interest in Pakistan, or projects in Pakistan, or knowing people.
So are these projects creating jobs for people out there as well, or are they just helping the because you said you're helping entrepreneurs in Pakistan?
Yes, that was the commission's job. See, the thing is, when you're taking many people with you, so people start their own initiatives. It's like linking people up, and they can start their own initiatives. So I can't take credit for any of that, to be very honest. But I think it's opening up, another door for people to understand, especially young entrepreneurs in Pakistan. Of course, they will look up to people who are coming from here, established people, or professors from universities. So they need to see, it's another exposure for them. It's like role models, and seeing them, like they were quite fascinated, to be very honest.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I organized a conference in Pakistan the following year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing a few projects, sitting here and still linking up. Yeah.
So what are these projects exactly? Are they social projects, or are they based on technology, or what kind of projects are they?
Social projects, I would say, more like.
So what kind of community are you helping? Are you helping the rural areas? Are you helping the city people, or which ones are you?
Yeah, the social entrepreneurs, the urban social entrepreneurs.
Okay,
but
so what are they? Are they getting agriculture help, or are they getting? Are they driving rickshaws, or what is your main initiative? How are you helping them?
It's basically the knowledge that we are bringing them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was basically starting the projects from here, and then taking people there, and they start their own.
So education projects, are you saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, around social business education, more like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So so far, how many people have you successfully have started their own businesses out there, and are they feeling so? Because I think, are you trying to change the mindset that people think over there, I need to go abroad to make money? I can actually make money in my own country. I can actually create my own business. Is that your main initiative?
Yes. So the main initiative started off like this. Then we wanted to create a social investment fund, which would help those young entrepreneurs.
Okay.
But sadly, that never materialized, because I sort of failed to communicate to my own community here that if we can create a fund here, which can help the entrepreneurs there, which will create social, it will bring that social change. I think that's where my disappointment maybe is with my community. But we are evolving. I think we will understand now.
So it's been a struggle to get the funds, or?
Of course. Okay. From here.
Right. So what is people's normal response? What is the response that you have to face, or the struggles?
I feel there was a less understanding. I'm talking about 4 years ago now.
Okay.
So the social entrepreneurship or social business concept is lacking in my community. This has been my challenge all along.
Okay.
That, and that's where I would actually start my own initiative in my own community organization, which I started because I realized that it's hard for people to understand where I'm coming from. I was facing this challenge a lot. I mean, they have the money, but they'd rather give it to as a charity to a masjid, like a mosque, or so that has remained my challenge. But I think now they're more sort of investment ready. See, the thing is, another purpose for the loop or the work I do is basically there's this knowledge gap between the diaspora and Pakistan itself, because they came here, the diaspora, people who came here in the 60s or 70s, they're sort of locked and in this time capsule, and they haven't realized that Pakistan has moved on. And especially in the urban spaces, you see, it's all up and coming. The youngsters are, they're so full of energy. They have ideas, they have the talent. So I'm just trying to bridge that gap, that they should know what is Pakistan or Pakistani people are capable of. And this is why I keep going back to Pakistan and bringing all the, the positive good news. And this is my recent work that I'm doing was that I was again exploring a unique financial model, which was inspired by a spiritual philosophy, because Pakistan is an Islamic republic. It's a faith-based country. So I'm part of this research community, and I happen to be the Pakistani Muslim woman. And they would ask me, Aneeqa, okay, Islamic finance is great. We know everybody sort of believes that this is the system that would safeguard the financial crisis and the system, but where are the models which we can show the world? Like, look, this model has succeeded. Because what is Islamic finance is, it's actually going beyond, and the essence and the philosophy of why were we asked not to charge interest, say for example, to start with. So you have to transcend that logic first, understand. So on this journey, I just found a brilliant, phenomenal model, which is something, it's almost like the Grameen of Bangladesh, but they don't charge interest. And it has been a very successful model. They have given out loans to 2 million families up till now, and they have been successful, because people would say, oh, no interest, how do they sustain? That's the first thing. So there's a whole lot sort of philosophy behind it, and I could just identify that because I was looking for something like that. And I went to Pakistan. I met the founder, Dr. Amjad Saqib. And within 10 minutes, I knew this is it. I found that model. And I brought that concept back to my research community. I shared with my professor. And everybody was so fascinated. And again, I'll go back to why the loop? Because, not many people know about Akhuwat. I knew about Akhuwat. I didn't know the depth or the philosophy of it. So I feel it's the job for any individual, any expatriate, that they go back and they explore and come back and maybe educate or maybe inform others. So there's always this lack of trust as well, because people do give a lot of charity.
And it sometimes ends up half of it, well, most of it. Well, I think a certain percentage of it only goes towards the cause, and the rest goes in the pockets of those people who are promoting it. So
I wouldn't say that that's the case here, but still people, I think
they're
now,
too wary now.
Because I think we are in an age where everybody's finding a meaning and purpose in things. So people would look for some meaning. I mean, what is this charity doing? So what is their bigger purpose? And just giving charity, I do not advocate that. So Akhuwat does not give charity. They give small loans to people like micro entrepreneurs. It could be like, for you and me, 5,000 rupees is nothing. But for someone who wants to start desperately, maybe a vegetable,
get a few chickens or something.
Vegetable kiosk or fruit kiosk, 5,000 is a lot for them. But who's going to give them 5,000? Maybe charity, but some, it's the divide between people, poor and rich. We've sort of so divided our societies and communities that we think like, oh, giving charity is the solution. No. They're also people. They have dignity. Right? So maybe telling them, okay, let's do a partnership. After all, this is what Islamic finance is about. It's about partnership. Right? Sharing what you have with your other brothers and sisters.
Of course.
So the best about akhuwat, which I realized.
So are you incorporating the same philosophy in your business now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm actually writing a book with the founder, Dr. Musart.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I just realized they've done phenomenal work, but everything is so localized and in the local perspective that the global world does not. Yes, they do know. Sorry, I shouldn't say that they don't. The global world does not know about akhuwat, because Dr. Musart has been invited to give talks at Harvard and United Nations. So, but on the whole, just to translate the whole philosophy, global language, or a language which everybody could understand, and understand it's not just about Islam, it's a universal concept.
It's about humanity.
Yes, to help each other. That what I have in excess, I should share with those who do not have. So that is the philosophy of Muakhat, the Muakhat-e-Medina, when the Prophet ﷺ, he migrated, the Ansar shared their wealth with their brothers and sisters. So he's just taken up that philosophy, and he's sort of revived the Sunnah and put everything into practice, saying, okay, let's not just read about all this in the books, let's just put this into practice and inculcate this spirit into youth as well. So they know that it's about giving and sharing rather than just, you know, keeping hold of accumulating wealth for ourselves, because not just for greed, I think we just do it instinctively, thinking
there's never be enough. So I think that's the mindset of many people now. They think, okay, and you probably notice, and I always see a group, you know, now that I'm educating myself in self-development, and there's this, it's quite surprising when you see patterns of other people. And I'll come from a mindset anyway of like, the more you give, the more it comes back. And but then there'll be certain people, like say if you would ask them for even for £1, or that you're doing a funding or something, like, you know what, I can't, I'm saving up for my own wedding, or I'm saving up for you know, I'm just saying, you'll hear that and they'll be like, okay, but how is that £1 gonna affect that you're saving up for? It's just mindset that people have around money is, oh my god, if I give, I'm not going to have enough. And I think like you said, education and the more awareness, and make people realize that actually the more you give, it comes back. And it says that in all scriptures, and all, even it says in the Quran, it says in all religious scriptures, the more you give, you get more. So, and I think especially in the Pakistani society, people are always, and you will go to every family, everybody's going to have the same mindset. No, I'm saving up for a house, I'm saving for my child's wedding, I can't pay for this right now. It's so funny, like they will have money to pay for them. It's just like a selfish, in a way, like a selfish mindset as well. It's like they're just thinking about themselves, but they don't know that, like you said, the 5,000 rupees is what, £40, or even 30 quid or £35. It can make a person's livelihood. But people, I have to correct you that Pakistanis give a lot of charity. No, they do, but I'm just saying, like Asians as well. Like I'm just saying, mainly because that's the group that I'm groomed in, and I know it's very, very hard to sell to Asian people because they have this constrictive thinking. I'm not saying that I'm not about charity, and I'm just saying in general, like if
true. No, I
it's like supporting a business, for example.
There you go. It's about, they will give charity.
Exactly. If you say
the masjid,
that's what I'm saying.
If you say, I agree with you.
That's what I'm trying to say. So if you say, okay, I need, okay, we're building a masjid, they will take money out. But if you say, okay, I've opened up an organization where I'm helping businesses, small people, entrepreneurs, be like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's not really helping the needy. Like, although they don't want to understand, they think because the label of charity is not there. If you name it crowdfunding, or if you name it funding, they'll be like, no, where's that funding going to go to? Oh, you know, I bet she's going to take it.
True. I agree with you.
And this mindset, that's what I'm saying, it's just this mindset that's been created of lack.
This was actually what took me to akhuwat. Because, you know, there have been cooperatives started by churches, right? There have been these movements which have been started with people of no faith, or, you know, other faiths, but somehow we still, as you said, it's about the education and opening our minds out.
Yeah.
That charity is never going to help our communities or the world. It's about, as Dr. Muhammad Yunus says, lucky for me, I just met him like 3 years ago. Yeah, so I was in the in this talk he was giving, and you know, he's such an inspiration, and he actually started the concept of social business, which was about, let's all do business, let's all make money, but let's have a social purpose of how we as communities or society will sustain ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if everybody will become selfish, and mind you, he's written in his books over and over again that for every selfish person there is a selfless person as well.
Yes.
And this is what Dr. Amjad Saqib has also, he's based his philosophy on this, that, you know, when people say, but how are you going to sustain? So he says that it's tawakkal Allah, right? He's the provider, he's the sustainer. But for every one person who doesn't want to give, there is always one person who will give.
Wow.
Because that's how the balance has been, you know, otherwise we...
Yeah, it's like, it's just like saying polarity. You can't have...
Exactly.
You can't have hate without love, and you can't have success without failure, and you can't have, like you said, without being selfless with selfishness. So he's got a very good point.
Yes.
So coming back to, I think we're getting very, very philosophical now.
I told you, there is a danger. I'll take you there.
That's fine. So if we come back to like your other organization that you've opened of community, can you share that, please? Like, what made you to?
So I was working on as a partner for a bigger project for there's an organization in Bradford called QED, and I've worked closely with them for years, and because they are based in Bradford, they wanted to have London delivery partners as well. So the project was called Quest for Integration. So this is when it was an awakening for me as well, because yes, you keep hearing about integration, right? But it was till that point when I actually was involved in that project that I realized that I was working with two groups. Like, one group is all Pakistani Muslim women, and the other group is a mixed ethnicity, like Mexicans, Turkish, Spanish women. So I realized this group, they were lacking they had the language barrier, but they had the exposure of the world. I mean, after learning language, we were giving them English ESOL classes and integration classes. So they would venture out, they'll find their own jobs, and you know, they'll start making their living. But come to this group, and this group is so closed group, you know, it was like no confidence whatsoever. Even after giving them English classes, when they started at least speaking English, I mean, starting from day one when they came to the class and they're sitting like this, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you like this, you're scaring me actually, right? To then literally transforming within like 10 weeks and 20 weeks, there were actually other women, like normal women. They would have chit chat with you. Before that, it was like, oh, I wish I could be like you. And I'm like, yes, you can be like me. I was like you as well.
Yeah.
Not exactly like you, but I came from Pakistan as well. I wasn't born or brought up
I think
here.
it's that level of expectation that they have have to build, and it's like being exposed to a completely different world. So you probably have this. So because
that's your survival instinct kicking in, telling you there's danger out there because you're being judged, discriminated.
Well, it's just that mindset you have when you're growing up, and your parents say to you, "Don't go out." You don't know what the world is cruel. So you have this, you know, be careful who you speak to. You don't know how people are going to treat you. So already they're so scared.
Exactly, and in an alien environment.
Exactly.
You know? And then, to be very honest, there's this patriarchal mindset as well. So if the husbands are saying, why do you need to go out and do this? You know, housework is enough. I mean, I'm not undermining that women are the best. They are like 24/7. They are doing this job, this housework, and we have to look after our families. I always tell people who say that, you know, oh, they need to go and look for a job. I'm like, no, this is also a job, because we are housekeepers, we are maintaining families, we are looking after our elderly. So we can't blame them that they are not doing anything. They are holding this, you know, social fabric in this family structure together. So we shouldn't be undermining them. But yes, if you talk to them, some of them wouldn't want to do something different. You know, it's about self-actualization. That you are doing something which everybody else, which becomes like your second nature, cooking or whatever. But there's always this creative impulse within every woman, and she wants to
do something different.
That is self-actualization for her. It came to me as self-actualization for myself, because I often do things and then I ask myself, hang on, why did I do that? Am I trying to prove something to myself? Nobody's asking me to do it. But I think it's that creative impulse, and every woman has that, right? And to take that away from her is being unfair on her. So after that project, I realized that, oh my God, there's a lot of work that needs done here within our communities. And these are the women who are the silent majority, who are, nobody is sort of asking them, what is your story? What's happening with you? And how are you feeling? You know, so I just became their, you know, teacher, their sister, their family. So best friend, you know, and it just gave me, to be very honest, it's a two-way street. When you're giving something, you're taking something as well. And the love they were giving me, it was, seriously, I thought, oh my God, this is what I need to do. So I set up my own community organization, just thinking that in doing so, they were actually helping me as well, because I have felt so isolated. There have been times where I've been feeling, you know, who to talk to. Maybe your challenges are, there so many challenges keep adding on, and then you become like this needy person who's come from another land and always in need of something, and people sort of start avoiding you. Oh gosh, another thing, right? And I just felt, oh my God, this is it. That's how we should, and it's very human and humane as well. That's how we connect with each other. In times of need, you would always find someone.
Of course.
A human being is always there, right?
That's only if you look, though.
Yeah, and trust me, I have faith in humanity a lot. Very, very optimistic about this. I have hope.
But you need to look. If you're going to think that, no, everybody's the same, then you won't find it. If you're going to believe, if I go out, there's someone out there who's going to listen to me. So that's great. So how is that going? So are the women becoming more confident, and is this a bit like, you know, teaching them how to be more confident and how to gel in with the new community? Yes, so I also have a theory, a philosophy for that as well, because I just realized that yes, you teach them English language, they would pass their ESOL or whatever, and we've given them career building workshops as well, but they would never go out for jobs. They will never go. Is it because of family, or they're too scared?
Family, and as well I feel like they're still scared. So then I thought, okay, let's try something different, which I could see within them that they had skills. But it was about finding your own skill, and I stress so much on this. And I would ask them, no, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You tell me what can you do, which comes naturally to you.
Which is your passion. Exactly. So
it could be sewing from home. It could be baking. It could be doing those things which people think are not even skills anymore, right? It's not about all of us sitting at, office desks and, computers and laptops. There are other things other people are doing out there, which are more creative. Yeah, so it was
actually, to be honest, like in the Muslim women entrepreneur community now, I've noticed there's the amount of talent that I've seen so far. Wow, I'm just all women who are making dolls from home.
Yeah.
They're making cushions.
Yeah.
They're doing all sorts of things, like they're creating packages for people.
Yeah.
And it just awes me all the time. It's like, wow, like even though they have the limitations where they can't go out to work, maybe due to family or whatever, because of children and stuff, they cannot make that. But it's amazing the creativity that they're coming out with. Like there's even books I see women making for kids.
You know those fruit baskets?
Yes, even that.
How amazing is that?
Or even like doing personalized gift baskets, like you said. Like there's like if a baby boy is born or stuff like. It takes out a lot of time for a person to make that. But if you're gonna go and hire someone to do that, make that thing for you, it's just it's that added touch. Like one idea. You know.
Plus, not everybody has that talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you give me all those things, I won't be able to make
exactly. Or even like crocheting or personalized things, and it's just so amazing. Like that women can do. And it just really amazes me every time, and actually makes me feel proud to be a woman. That look, as being a woman, look, we can do so much more. Rather just going to work and coming back, like men just have that worry. We're looking after our kids, we're looking after our in-laws, we're looking after our families, and maintaining a business. So
this is what I'm also saying. I have a serious issue when people say Muslim women are not integrating.
Because the only reason I think the limitation we have here is on social media, which is as soon as women share, I think they're very scared of sharing their own personal image, their face and stuff like that, because of the backlash they get. Backlash of men inboxing them, which ruins their marriages and stuff like that. I see so many women that who are such highly professionals doing from home, they still won't put their profile pictures up, and you don't even know what they look like. Only because of what society is the way it's treating them.
Plus, it's cultural conditioning as well, and there's nothing wrong in that. You know, we have to understand what their cultural sensitivities are and work around them rather than always pushing them. This is where, remember we were talking about, and I said that integration, no, sorry, I have serious issue with someone saying, you need to integrate because you've come to my country. No, sorry, we both have to live together. So, you know, I'll give you one example, that one of the students in our English class, and she said that she has no confidence and she's so scared of her neighbor next door, which is a white old woman. She said, every time I will see her stepping out, I will actually hide behind my front door so I don't have to communicate with her. And that just hit me. I was like, no, it's not about language, right? You need to go out and just leave this fear behind that you are not welcomed here. And trust me, they're so friendly people, I must say. Londoners are amazing people. And she did that. And she said, oh my God, I smile. I said, just go and smile at her and say hello. Whatever she says, if you don't understand, just smile and nod your head like okay, and she will understand that you have English barriers, the barriers, and it's fine. We're just human beings.
But to be saying that, you know, my mum, she still hasn't learned English properly, but because she came from a very she came from a family that was, my nanny was always very, very strict and firm and stuff like that. So my mum became very confident in general with that. And even to this day, like you said with the neighbours, we have this neighbour that we've grown up with, and the neighbour, and every time they communicate, they still understand each other, and and my mum's never let that be an issue. And it's been so many years now. My mum's like, she'll be like, you okay? And it's so funny, like the way she speaks, but it's really cute at the same time. Like, I'm like, wow, like you're not giving up, you know. And even if she goes to by herself, like she wouldn't expect someone to go with her. Obviously now my dad goes because he's retired, but she's never let that be a barrier, because she thinks this is my home. And I need to deal with it. And even now to this day, even though she's almost 70, she's started to go to college again.
Bless her. Wow, amazing.
And why? And she's done the ESOL again and again, but she's saying no, like, what am I doing at home anyway? I've got daughter-in-laws doing everything, but you know, it just gives me something to do. And she's improving her English and she wants to learn. So, and it's amazing. And I tease her like, Mom, next thing you need to do is learn your driving. Then you won't need to be on the buses all the time.
No, but there are brilliant examples out there.
It's just like, you just look at her and think, she's not let anybody let her down in that sense, that just because I'm from a different country, language and stuff like that. And the neighbor and I have this beautiful relationship. She's black, Jamaican, and my mum's like Pakistani, and they always communicate and they're always talking, and my mum tells me everything. I'm like, Mum, how did you know? She goes, I understand, but you know, and they just, it's so hilarious. And it's like,
I know.
Still the communication is there, but it's about trying, isn't it? So,
of course,
and obviously I think like that lady of yours, so the neighbor will probably realize, okay, she only understands these XY words, so they will use those words to and make you understand. And you know, communication, there's many ways of doing it.
Exactly, but we have to understand we're all different people. Some would have that confidence. Like the other day I was talking to someone, he's a Bengali, my friend, and he was saying that his mother was widowed when she was only 42 years old in this country. She's raised 6 children on her own, and she doesn't speak English. Wow. So imagine that. So, you know, there are amazing women out there. They're just the silent majority, as I
silent warriors, I would call them.
Exactly. And the world doesn't know about them, right? Because they don't sort of speak up, and nobody has gone to them and asked them, what is your story? So then to put everybody in one bracket and say, oh, Muslim women are not integrating, no, sorry, I have an issue with that. Because what is the definition, and how do we integrate? We have to integrate as a community, as a society on the whole.
Accept each other as whoever you are.
Exactly.
You know.
So yeah, that's what I was doing with these women, and I must say that it always reinforces that belief in myself, and that as a woman, that we are amazing creatures. We have
unstoppable.
So many, and so many capabilities. It's like, if not this, we can do that. And, you know, so that's why I just chose to work with women, because I felt like it's time you would see many women rising. It's the new sort of up and coming thing. So you will see many women emerging on the scene that you never saw before. So it's about us taking responsibility for firstly our own kind, as in womankind, and saying, okay, let's help those who have been neglected by us, to be very honest. So I think charity is not just giving money. This is also charity, and everybody should be doing this, you know, just helping someone who's in need of maybe just few words, or maybe doing someone's shopping for them. That's how communities are built, and this is what my so my research is about this, that what is the core, the moral core of a community. And for, say for example, Islamic communities, there is this moral core of unity and tawheed. So how is that then that emanates? So yeah, I won't philosophical again.
It's fine. It's fine. I think people enjoy that. It's not a problem.
So this is it, and I feel like there's this constant, you know, it's a rhythm that, and communities are not static. We are constantly, you know, we are microorganisms, like, you know, we are growing, and there is always this paradigm shift, which it takes place, but some would feel those tremors and, you know, see what's happening and then translate it, and some wouldn't. So I think I'm quite positive about, you know, I don't look at this doom and gloom of the world, it's going to end and this is happening. But on the flip side, so many good things are also happening, and how communities are now in the phase of this transition, you know, this social innovation that's coming, we are more aware. You'll see that many people now talk about meaning and purpose in work, in business, in life in general. So I think this is the awakening, the universal awakening that is happening, the paradigm shift. So we are collectively sort of waking up to this reality that it's about people now.
Yes.
Because, you know, we human beings, we created all these organizations or corporations to help human beings. But somehow the purpose was lost. Because it became like, oh, human beings are to serve the corporations. But I feel the younger generation are the millennials of our world. They now know, you talk to them and they'll talk about purpose in life. first. So I'm quite hopeful.
Okay.
It's going to be, you know, all
Inshallah.
good.
Inshallah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what about your you got another project that you started up in Pakistan? See what I mean? There's too many things. You know, you started the you said you were raising funds for the universities or educations and back home. Can you elaborate on that, please?
So that's actually for Akhwat again. So Akhwat means a brotherhood, and as I explained before, it's the philosophy of muakhat, which is like solidarity amongst each other. How we can just, you know, share, give, not just take and give. So Akhwat is now building a university after giving out interest-free loans.
Right.
They've realized that, you know, how do you eradicate poverty? It's never going to happen by just giving them small loans, but it's also about education. Education is, you know, it's important for any nation to develop, and Pakistan has a youth pulse of like 63 or 65. I can't remember the exact stats, but so what are these youngsters going to do? So not only equipping them with just degrees, it's about inculcating the spirit of solidarity again, and that's what I loved about this concept.
So it's like bringing the self-development a bit more in the Pakistani society.
Yeah, so the way they very cleverly sort of conceived this whole model of a university is that as you give out loans to students and you keep on paying interest and forever, so they're saying if you can't pay, if you are a deserving and talented person, if you can't pay the fee now, come and study here. And once you go out, you found a job or whatever.
It's a bit like here.
Yeah, then give back and give back to the society, because this is how Akhwat does with the loans as well. So I was telling you about transforming these borrowers into donors. So what they do is that because they don't charge any interest and no admin fee, nothing. So they ask when the borrowers come back and say it's like it's our human nature, you feel obliged, somebody has given you something, right, and which has
you have to reciprocate, yes.
Yeah, so you would say, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
And Dr. Amjad Saqib said, oh, you know, it's your organization as well, so become a giver, a donor, rather than being a taker. It could be as small as like 5, starting for like 50 rupees, which is less than...
What a wonderful thought.
Yeah, so they have actually generated this big pot of money, which I call the solidarity economy, and which again is the wonderful concept behind is the partnership with poor. So the poor people could be partners into a big, you know, organization, and they can say, okay, Akhwat is us, all of us.
Yes.
So this is how they have created their own solidarity economy. So they are now replicating the same model for education as well. And I was so inspired by this, and the only reason I'm sort of participating in this is because of this global solidarity that as I said, bridging the gap between the diaspora and Pakistan. And also not just the diaspora, the reason I started a crowdfunding campaign rather than just another fundraiser was for people to know the awareness of there is this concept that you buy a brick from us and your name would be inscribed on our university's wall.
Okay, that's pretty
so
cool.
You're sitting here in London or in Bradford or wherever, and you know that a university in Pakistan has
built.
And also your name is
going to be on the brick.
You are one of the founding partners of a university. So I just love the concept that I think this is the best way we can bring communities and you know.
And how's it going for you? How's that working out?
Launch soon.
Okay.
And like we were supposed to launch this week, but our the platform, I think they have decided we launch next week because the founder of I'm basically working with the Up Effect. Sorry.
The Up Effect? What are they? Sorry.
Yeah, they're the crowdfunding platform.
Okay.
And it's been such a pleasure working with them, because they are also a social enterprise, as in they not only help you raise the funds, they are actually guiding you every step of the way. And not many crowdfunding platforms would do it, like Kickstarter or, you know, Indiegogo or whatever. It has been an amazing pleasure working with them, and I've learned a lot. And it's like they are partners with this. So yeah, we're launching next week, inshallah.
Okay.
And
so how could people donate? Do they need to donate to be the founders? Can it be any
So
amount?
one brick is £20.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 bricks are £80.
Okay.
And you know, for 5 bricks, you get yours and your family name.
Okay,
there.
that's nice.
So we are only asking for £25,000, which is nothing for a university. So this £25,000 would actually make one classroom.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with all the equipments and all that. So it could be then dedicated to our...
Brilliant. Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Yeah.
So you mentioned before you're writing a book with the
founder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dr.
So what's the book going to be about? Is it going to be about, like you mentioned before, like it's just going to be based on giving and, you know, prosperity?
So it's basically about... Akhwat is not a microfinance organization as I see it, because they do not follow the rules of microfinance. They do not charge interest. So I'm presenting them as an alternative model of microfinance, which is very spiritually inspired as well. So my book's name is Integral Finance.
Wow.
So it has that, you know, the spiritual aspect as well. Why leave that out? So my call is basically to accentuate that spirituality, which is locked, which is very implicit at the moment, to bring it out and say, this can work. You know, why just leave spirituality out? But when it can help us in many ways. Yeah.
So when are you hoping to launch the book?
That's next year.
Inshallah. Inshallah. I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
You're a woman of many talents, and we got round there some way.
Finally, in the end.
You know, if you want to join Aneeqa next week with the funding and stuff like that, we'll be sharing the link out, and maybe you can get your name on a brick and help education. And it's been lovely having you. And one thing I would like to ask is, before we leave, is what is the one advice you would give to people so they can start applying to their life today? You want to look at them and tell them, and that will benefit.
What?
Any piece of advice that they can use, any tip that you would advise that from your life experience that they can use today that will help them immensely.
Oh, okay. So I would say that on my way to your studio, I was thinking that how come people just fall for all those very cliched terminologies and everything about, you know, oh, failure and this fear of failure. And I was asking myself, and I just realized, for me personally, it's not the fear of failure. It's basically the fear of, oh my God, what if this is going to be successful?
Yeah, fear of
you
success.
get so overwhelmed by it, and it's like your heart is telling you, this is happening. What next? Am I equipped? So just feel that any ordinary common person, like I am a common woman, we all have those little successes every day. So one task done it's
a success.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be afraid, because I do get overwhelmed by thinking, oh my God, this is happening now. I've done this. So it's never the failure.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So like Aneeqa said, don't be scared of taking that step and being successful. Even if you fail, look at it as a lesson, and you have to fail to succeed. And imagine if you're succeeding again and again and again, you won't appreciate yourself, you won't appreciate the hard work that you put in, so you have to fail. So until next time, thank you for watching the live show with Musart.